Hello student, our topic is corporate social responsibility. Every business organization operates in an environment in which it interacts. No organization can survive in the absence of environment. It has to draw its inputs like manpower, money, machine, material, etc. from its environment. That means existence of business organization depend on society. So that's why it has some responsibilities also towards society. Roots of a social responsibility lie in philanthropic activities such as charity or donation. Most forms of social obligations are concerned with providing basic necessities such as food, water, clothing, education, healthcare, and shelter. Many people don't have even these basic things food, water, clothing, and the business houses they can help people. That will be very good thing. In India, corporate social responsibility is not a new concept. Our scholars always stressed on donating, on charity. It is written that among the greatest karmas to be performed, donation is the greatest among them. That means a person who donates is known as savior of life. Corporate social responsibility was recently adopted globally. In fact, India is the first country to make this corporate social responsibility mandatory for companies. CSR, corporate social responsibility, is a term used to describe companies' efforts to improve society in some way. This effort can be from donating money to non-profit to implementing environmentally friendly policies in the workplace. CSR make the companies responsible and accountable. They are accountable to itself, to its stakeholders, to public in general. By practicing social responsibility, companies can be conscious about economic, social and environmental aspect of the society. According to UNIDO, United Nations Industrial Development Organization, corporate social responsibility is a management concept whereby companies integrate social and environmental concern in their business operation and interactions with their stakeholders. That means here company is not only thinking about the profit, the company integrate other concept too. Companies have to think about the society and they also have to think about environment. According to ISO, International Organization for Standardization, the responsibility of an organization for the impact of its decisions and activities on the society and the environment, resulting in ethical behavior and transparency which contribute to sustainable development, including the health and well-being of society, takes into account the expectations of stakeholders, complies with the current law, and is consistent with international standard of behavior, and is integrated throughout the organization and implemented in its relation. That means CSR means business should take those decisions, those activities which doesn't harm society, which doesn't harm environment. In fact, these activities should protect society and should protect environment. That means business should behave ethically and there should be transparency in their work, in their activity, which leads to sustainable continuous development of the society in way of health of the people, in the way of well-being of the society. Also, businessmen should think about the stakeholders, those who are connected with the companies. This is also included in CSR. They have to follow the rules and law of the country and they have to be in consistence with international standards. These activities should be integrated throughout the organization. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India has recently notified in the Section 135 of Companies Act 2013 along with Companies Rules 2014 Corporate Social Responsibility Policy and other notifications related thereto, which makes it mandatory from 15th April 2014 for certain companies who fulfill the criteria mentioned under Section 135 to comply with the provisions relevant to CSR. Now, who are the companies that comes under this? A company having net worth of 1500 crores or companies having turnover of 1000 crores or the companies having net profit of 15 crores. If any company come under this category. All the companies shall spend in every financial year at least 2% of average profit. 3 immediately preceding years. That means if this year is 2020, then profit of 2019, 2018 and 2017. Average of these 3 years, they have to calculate the average of these 3 years, and from that 2% they have to spend on CSR. Company is also required to make separate committee for CSR, which will consist of board of directors. CSR committee, it will consist of 4 directors who shall meet at least twice a year to discuss and review about the CSR activities and policies. The CSR committee will recommend formal CSR policy, that means what they can do for the society. It's not particular thing is not mentioned in the law. There are so many things which the business can do for the upliftment of the society, so they have to discuss this. They have to recommend formal CSR policy and will recommend particular CSR activities. They have to prepare budget and describe how the company will implement the project. There should be a transparent means to monitor the progress. Nothing should be hidden. Company is also required to make CSR report, which will be incorporated in board's report. Report will consist of brief outline of company's CSR policy, including overview of the project or program proposed to be undertaken and a reference to the web link to the CSR policy and projects or program. Secondly, the compositions of CSR committee who are there in the committee. Third, average net profit of the company for the last 3 financial year. Then fourth, prescribed CSR expenditure, how much a company has spent money. Then details of money spent on CSR during the financial year. Prescribed CSR expenditure, that means how much they are going to spend. And in case of company has failed to spend 2% of the average net profit of the last 3 financial year, what is the reason? All these things need to be mentioned in the report. Now, what are the activities which companies can do? CSR activities. CSR means good corporate citizens. While this seems to be very simple, but in reality, social responsibility covers a wide range of actions and situations, and there is no universal consensus about which action improves societal welfare. The policy recognizes the corporate social responsibility is a commitment to support initiatives that ultimately improves the life of unprivileged people by one or many of the following areas, which is notified under section 135 of Companies Act 2013 and Companies Rules 2014. Corporate social responsibility policy. First is eradicating hunger, poverty and malnutrition, promoting preventive health care and sanitation, and making available safe drinking water. Second, promoting education including special education and employment, enhancing vocational skill especially among children, women, elderly and differently abled, and livelihood enhancement project. Companies can give training to the people so that these people acquire some skill, they can get job. Third is reducing child mortality and improving material health by providing good hospitals, facilities and low cost medicines. Companies can also open hospitals. Like Tata company has Memorial Hospital, Tata Cancer Hospitals are there, in which treatment is done for the poor people at very reasonable rate, and this cancer hospital is the best hospital all over India. Fourth, ensuring environmental sustainability, ecological balance, protection of flora and fauna and animal welfare, agroforestry, conservation of natural resources and monitoring quality of soil, air and water. For example, half of the Bosch research and development budget is invested in creating environmental protection technology. By 2021, the company will have invested 50 million to support universities and research programs that are focused on environment, energy. Fifth, employment enhancing vocational skills. Starbucks. With an eye to hiring, Starbucks is looking to diversify their workforce and provide opportunities for certain cohorts. By 2025, it has pledged to hire 25,000 veterans by 2025 as part of their socially responsible efforts. Sixth, measures for the benefit of armed forces veterans, war widows and their dependents. Seventh, training to promote rural sports, nationally recognized sports. Eighth, contribution to Prime Minister's National Relief Fund or any other fund set up by the central government for socio-economic development and relief and welfare of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and other backward classes, minorities and women. Ninth, Rural Development Project. 10th, Slum Area Development. Example of CSR in India. Tata Group. Tata Group conglomerate in India carries out various CSR projects, most of which are community improvement and poverty alleviation program. Through self-help groups, it has engaged in women empowerment activities, income generation, rural community development, and other social welfare program. In the field of education, Tata Group provides scholarship and endowments for numerous institutions. Then Ultratech Cement. India's biggest cement company is involved in social work across 407 villages in the country, aiming to create sustainability and self-reliance. Its CSR activities focus on healthcare and family welfare program, education, infrastructure, environment and social welfare and sustainable livelihood. Mahindra and Mahindra. In automobile manufacturer, Mahindra and Mahindra established the K.C. Mahindra Education Trust in 1954, followed by Mahindra Foundation in 1969 with the purpose of promoting education. The company primarily focused on education program to assist economically and socially disadvantaged communities. Its CSR program invests in scholarship and grant livelihood training, healthcare for remote areas, water conservation, disaster relief program. Mahindra and Mahindra runs programs such as Nanni Kali focusing on education for girls, Mahindra Pride School for industrial training and Lifeline Express for healthcare services in remote areas. Non-compliance of CSR activities. There is no specific penal provision for non-compliance under Section 135 of Act. However, non-disclosure or absence of details about the CSR policy and its implementation in the board's report will attract penalty. Penalty for non-complying the duty of CSR would attract a fine of not less than rupees 50,000, which may extend to 25 lakhs, and every officer of the company is in default shall be punishable with imprisonment for the term which may extend to 3 years, or with fine which shall not be less than rupees 50,000, which may extend to 5 lakh, or with both.